Well, hello and welcome to the FasterFreedom Show.
Hello.
My name is Sam.
And I am Matt.
You are Matt. You are got a little more hair than Lucas and a little more glasses. But other than that, you guys are basically the same person.
Basically the same person, yeah.
Lucas is on vacation, so we got our Jose Oquendo of the team, our
Nobody
utility man.
Nobody knows who Jose Oquendo is.
Jose Oquendo was a player for the Cardinals in the 80s that played all 9 positions one season. He's the ultimate utility man.
He pitched?
He pitched, he caught, he played all 9 positions in 1 year.
It's a pretty bold strategy.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. So we got Matthew today. We're going to quickly talk about the Fed's funds rate, and then we are going to get into Matt's. This is like his expertise. This is kind of why we brought him on. We're going to talk about some key metrics to keep track of. So this is going to be really good for a newer investor that's like, you know, you can't track everything, and what you track and what you focus on like grows and gets amplified. So we're going to give them a few metrics and things to track so they're amplifying the right things. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
How you ready to go? So
Let's rock it.
Anybody watching, who does Matt look like? A generic Ryan Reynolds, right?
I mean, that's what people have said.
That's what the people say. All right, so the Fed's fund, the Federal Reserve just dropped the Fed's funds rate by 0.5%. So what do you think? Good, bad, no big deal?
I think obviously good. I think there's a lot of happy people for sure. I mean, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, no, I like it. I was volleying it so you could volley it right back.
I'm gonna volley it.
You're just, all day you're just gonna be setting.
I'm gonna be setting.
Yeah, and setting for me to spike.
And then bumping.
Setting and bumping. I like it. Bumping. All right. So I think it's a good thing for sure. So this is the first time in 4 years that the Federal Reserve has lowered interest rates. They've been on a crazy spree to raise interest rates to curb inflation. Now inflation is under control, and now they're focusing their effort into the job market and avoiding a recession. This is what's called the soft landing. It's never happened before, where they raise interest rates very rapidly, then lower interest rates without causing a recession. That's never happened before. It's this soft landing that they're talking about. It may have kind of happened one time, but overall recessions follow. So their goal is to help avoid a recession now. At first it was inflation, because if inflation's out of control, it can ruin an economy. A recession is kind of just like a reset. Like, it's not good, but it's not the end of the world. We recover from recessions, but if inflation's out of control, there's no really going back from that.
Yeah.
So I think they've done a good job so far. Just to clarify, the Fed's funds rate and the 30-year mortgage are different. Fed's funds rate is the rate that the federal government lends small banks. It's the rates that, you know, car loans are based off. It's the rate that I borrow money to buy my rental properties. It's like a small business lending pool. The 30-year mortgage is based off the bond market, and they kind of like look at each other and play off each other. But Jerome Powell didn't just lower the 30-year mortgage 0.5%. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's their money that they loan to the mortgage companies,
Yep.
and then there's the markup on top of that. But it's almost like there's an election coming up.
Yeah, it's almost like that, huh? I mean, so yeah, let's talk about that quickly, and then we're going to get into the to Matt's specialty. But the I don't know. This is political though. So the Fed's supposed to not like act on any political like bias. Like Trump really tried to get them to lower them before, and they did, but like not as much as he wanted. And there's an election year coming up, but like inflation just got under control like in the past like 3-4 months. It just happened to be an election year. I guess that could be linked, but I mean inflation. COVID happened, and that's what caused it. And then they just got bad jobs report. So again, I mean, coincidental timing maybe again, but I mean, I think, put it this way, I think if it was mid-2023 and we had the same jobs report and the same inflation report, that they would have lowered rates.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Same result.
I'm not a tinfoil hat guy.
Hey.
Do you have is there enough? You'd run out of tinfoil covering that dome up.
It's a five. I think someone's called me a 5 head before. It's tough.
It's tough. Can I say the one joke that's really funny but inappropriate? Sure. Shane's mom, sorry, plug your ears. Like, I saw a meme of like a guy with a big head, and somebody said a sniper's dream.
That's terrible.
That's really bad.
Oh yeah, that's mean.
It's just a meme. It's just
what
not,
the kids do.
It's what
Yeah,
the
but
kids
it's a meme of a real person.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
a real person.
and you're a real person.
I am that person.
Well,
so.
I think that guy, it was CGI. Like, your head is not near as big as his.
They went like the cone heads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing was, it was he thinks in like he thinks in bold font or something. Like he thinks in higher case thoughts because they need more space up there.
That's good.
All right, okay, Matthew. So all that being said, good news for real estate investors. I think the last two things I want to say on this, and then I want your feedback, and then we'll hop into it, Matthew, is lowering interest rates will do two things. I think nobody knows the exact effect on the stock market, if they'll lower it again, when will they lower it, all these things. But I'm pretty certain of two things. Lowering this interest rate like they did means that house prices will go up.
Agree.
As they continue to lower them, it'll be even more drastic. I could see if house prices are dropping in a market, like this will flatten it, or if house prices are going up a percent or two, this will give a little bump. But if they keep lowering it, it'll go way up. And then two, this is basically, in my opinion, stopping any momentum of a crash. So I think those are two positive things.
Yeah, stabilization for sure. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but people, I'm going to wait till interest rates drop or house prices go down. There's really when one lever moves, another lever, one lever goes down.
Are you saying lever or lover?
You can say.
It sounded like you said lover, didn't it?
Lever.
One lover boy.
Anyway, back to my very big brain thought.
You got a big brain, we know that.
Yeah, it's true. Just there's no perfect time and waiting for the market or house prices or whatever. Always just a great time to educate yourself, build the foundation, and then wait for the right opportunity.
I like that. That's good. And if somebody wants to educate themselves even more, this is only going to apply to a few people. But tomorrow, Thursday, the 19th, I'm doing a live webinar in this building where I'm going to talk about how to find, fund, fix, and flip. So if you're interested in that, it's free. It is private. Make sure to just DM me on Instagram, and I will send you a link to that, or check the link in my bio if you want to get even more educated. You brought that up. So, yeah, I think you hit a good point that there's never a perfect time to invest. That's why if people wait till now to invest, they're really behind the eight ball, as opposed to the people the past 6 months or a year that have been investing. You can always just refinance. That's what we're going to do. If they drop again, we'll just refinance. We always say marry the house or marry the property.
Date the rate.
Date the rate. Shop around that rate. Tinder that rate.
Tinder that rate. Bumble.
Hashtag Bumble. What is Bumble again? Is the one with the girls?
I think the Bumble is girls approach the gentlemen.
But I think they changed that now. It's not that anymore. I thought I read.
It's a free market?
Yeah, free market economy.
Okay.
Shay knows all about Bumble.
I do not. I think that it's women reach out first, but I think
he's like, I think.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But they may have a paid feature where guys can reach out first. That might be a premium feature.
Paywall, smart. And then there's always Grindr. All right, so Matthew, why don't you tell the people who you are real quick, what you do, why you're on this esteemed top, podcast in the nation. You're able to make this appearance.
Yeah. Matt Sieb, COO of FasterFreedom. So really the bells and whistles. I try to keep the train on the tracks. There's a lot of
what's the train?
Train to you. There's a lot of coal going into that engine, so making sure that stays on track is really what I do here. So manage community, manage coaches, manage everything. That's the genesis of it all is Sam. But just make sure that our community is well supported, continuing to advance our product offering and the way we serve people, and day in and day out. That's it.
I like it. So I call him Matt. I call him Marty. I call him Steve. I call him Marty.
Chubby Reynolds.
McFly. Any other ones?
We'll stick there.
Steve. Did I say Steve?
You said Steve. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Awesome. So those are the names, and let's get rocking. We'll be bunking together in Tampa in here in a few days. We're excited about it.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna go over wholesalers, fixer and flippers, and then landlords like to hold the notes long term. So we're going to go over a lot of these terms are similar, so we're not going to spend 30 minutes going over these terms. We're just going to kind of give you a brief rundown of each of them and the ones that are different. So one that's universal, especially for the initial purchase of properties, whether you're flipping, renting, or wholesaling, is
ARV.
What does ARV stand for?
ARV is the after repair value. So you find a house, it's distressed or needs love. You got to figure out what the like maximum upside, we'll call it, of that house. And you can't just say, well, you can make it into a $300,000 house. That might not be realistic. So the big important thing here is comps, Sam.
I like it. There, that was more. That was like
That was a lot.
That was a bump and a set
And a spike.
and a spike. I like it. So in general, yeah, he did a great job describing it. So the reason, I'm going to dig into the reason why you need this ARV. So the ARV is after repair value. And the reason is you do this is you're trying to get ahead of the 8 ball. So whether you're, selling it to somebody who's going to flip it, or you're flipping it yourself, or you're keeping it as a rental, every one of those people is going to base the value off of their, off their offer on what the house is going to be worth. It's a future known value. There's a future unknown value. There's some art. There's some science to it. But when you sell it, let's say I sell you a house. You are going to go to a bank, and the bank's going to figure out what the market value is, which technically is the future after repair value. If I go to a bank and refinance it, the bank's going to look at the market value, which is the future after repair value. So everybody that's going to transact on this property is going to use the market value. We're just trying to predict that market value so we can back into a profitable number.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What's the best way to predict those future market values?
You said it.
I know.
What is it?
It's comps.
Straight out of comping.
But talk to me about, when you look at comps, what are some of the characteristics?
You're in the flow now, brother.
Is there a timeline? Am I going 2 years back? Am I going a year back? What happens if it's a one bed? Or
you want me to hit him with the patented 333?
Go do it for us.
The patented 333 FasterFreedom Original. So what you need to do to actually find this future market value after repair value is the 333 method, we call it around here, all right? So I'll break it down, Matthew, but you need to find 3 properties that have sold in the past 3 months within a third of a mile of your property you're looking to purchase. And they have to be in similar like style and condition and dimension. So if I'm looking at a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot ranch, I need to find 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot ranches. Now, you're not going to probably find the 333s exactly, right, Matt? So you are able to be flexible. You have to find 3. But if you can't find them in the last 3 months, you go back 4 or 5 or 6 months. I wouldn't go much more than 6 if possible. And then if you can't find it in a third of a mile, maybe you can go out a half of a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. So again, get as tight as you can, like a toiga. What's that from? Austin Powers, right?
Sure.
Okay. Get as tight as you can, and then expand it from there a little bit as it goes, and just get as close as you can to it. It's got to be 3 of them, and again, it's got to be in similar condition that yours is going to be in, and you can't do like a 4-2 ranch and a 3-1, or I guess let's say a 4-2 2-story and a 3-1 ranch. It has to be the same type of property.
Yeah. How much do like school districts and stuff like that?
They have a play. So
there?
That's kind of where your radius goes. Most of the time in a school district, a third of or half a mile, you're going to be within the same school district. Yeah. So that's why we try to get as tight as possible. But if you're going out a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, just make sure you're not crossing any like huge intersections, like neighborhoods. Certain areas of St. Louis and some cities are like block to block, but most of it's like neighborhood to neighborhood kind of thing. So if you're not exiting a neighborhood or exiting like a main street and getting into a whole new area or a new school district, you're fine. But be aware of those things. Look, you know this stuff.
Yeah, it's like Francis Howell and Howell Central. Me
like
and Sam went to.
You really want to be at Howell, like
to rival high schools.
The houses in Howell Central are worth a lot less than the houses in Howell, so it's one of those things.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's school district. It's not. I don't think high schools are. A little bit, but anyways, it's more of the school district. Cool. So after repair value, you all got this. Kind of no matter what we're doing, but we're specifically talking about wholesaling. You got to find out what you think the house is going to be worth after it's fixed up, and it's kind of fun to do. It's kind of like being a little bit of math, a little bit of science, a little bit of art. You're kind of like being a detective and then kind of putting a best case study together to see what the house is worth. And again, we want to do 3 months to push that point one more time, because it might be 3 or 4 months or 6 months until your project's done. So that 8-month comp that you looked at is 14 months old now, and that ain't going to work. It has got to be under a year maximum, so that's why we try to get around 3 months.
Love it.
Cool. All right, what is the second kind? Well, let's break down. Let's go to number 3. Let's break down that whole formula.
Yeah. So max allowable offer, MAO, Samuel.
Mao. Apparently, there was a Chinese emperor named Mao that killed all the landlords, and when people really hate on me on social media, they say Mao needs to come back, which basically is saying they want me to die.
Emperor Mao's chicken.
Mm-hmm. Is that a...
No.
Oh. Is that a chicken joint?
General Tso.
Is that a chicken joint?
No, it's like a chicken dish.
Is it?
General Tso's chicken.
If Shane doesn't know, it's not true. Shane knows everything.
Shane doesn't know what Austin Powers is, probably. He's a young cat.
He is a young cat. All right, so the max allowable offer formula. So part of that formula is ARV times 70% minus your repair. So let's break that down. So we already covered ARV times 70 to 75%. All that is it's just building in a 25% profit margin based on your highest number. So 100,000 times 75%, 75,000, then you minus out your repairs, which we'll cover those. So that's where you can get, you can kind of get a little bit creative, 70, 75, 80%. Let's just do quick math. Let's say, 100,000 times 80% minus repairs versus 100,000 times 70% minus repairs. The higher percentage, the higher your offer is going to be.
Yep.
Potentially less profit, though, right? 20% versus 30% profit margin.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, less profit and less cushion for risk, right?
But potentially a higher chance of getting the deal because you're paying more.
Correct. So it's a balance, I think. I think definitely.
Life's a balance.
It is. It is. Like a gymnast on a balance beam.
Who do you think could walk longer on a balance beam, me or you?
Oh, I trip. I stumble walking in my house. So you probably.
Yeah.
I'm really poor balance.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
bad.
Because your head's a little big.
I think so.
Kind of get you tilting one way.
That's.
Did you just call him top heavy?
Yeah.
Top heavy.
He is a little bit shoulders up. He's got a little bit of swayiness going on to him. I like it. All right, so the max allowable offer formula, which again, if you're a wholesaler, we're going to talk about how this applies to you. Probably move these around a little bit, but we got ARV, after repair value, we hammered that one, times 75%. Let's split the difference between 70 and 80% minus your repairs. Now that may go without saying, like what repairs are, but I think there's some things we have to talk about when it comes to repairs. Do you know what they are?
Rehab types.
Well, that could be, yes. The biggest thing here is going to be getting your repairs / costs. So a lot of people on the surface will just put in their repairs. And these 25 grand in repairs. So ARV of 100 times 75% is 75 grand minus, 20 grand in repairs?
Yep.
So that's 55 grand. Great. Well, what if there's, 2 grand in real estate taxes you have to pay, and utilities you have to pay, and insurance you have to pay. And what if you have 6 grand in holding costs to pay your private lender or hard money lender? That's another, 8 grand that you technically, if you don't include that in your formula, you're overpaying because that's a known expense.
Yeah.
So the whole goal is here to have somewhat of an unknown number, the ARV, by a known percentage by all your expenses you're going to have in the property. We're talking holding costs, closing costs, realtor fees if you're selling it, insurance, and all the physical repairs to the property.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that works. So if no matter what you're doing, you really need to get into this max allowable offer formula, MAO. So ARV times 75% minus repairs and costs.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that's what somebody else is going to want to buy it at, so if you're a wholesaler, what do? Build in the wholesale fee.
Yeah.
So let's say it's $100,000 times 75% minus the 20K. Let's say that's 55K. That's probably what someone else is going to want to buy it for around that. You might be able to get 60 out of it. So if I were you, I'd try to get this thing locked up for 45 grand, then shop it for 59.9. Give you some wiggle room for negotiations. They get a deal where they can make money. You get a deal where you can make money, and then you can do more together. So that's kind of the goal.
Love it.
Okay. Very, very cool. And then something you're going to want to look at when you're looking at comps and just to see what the general strength of the market is the DOM.
The DOM.
The DOM. The
days on market.
The DOM or the sub.
Sub. I don't know what the sub is.
It's like the dominant and submissive. Isn't that like a thing?
That's not for this podcast.
That's our after dark one. Okay, sorry. All right, so the DOM, the days on market. So this is 100% just a heat check for the market. You ever had a heat check in basketball, just putting them up?
Terrible basketball player.
So you were good at hockey and you're so good at golf. That's not really, I guess. Yeah, golfers aren't athletes really, so I guess that makes sense.
I bruise backboards.
I look at you as athletic.
I am athletic.
But you can't walk around your house and you can't shoot a basketball.
Yeah.
All the dome.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a couple concussions through the years that probably have caused some of that. But
That's that why your head's so big?
none of that, it's the swelling.
We're just gonna make fun of his head the entire episode.
Yeah.
And his head, I don't even. Is it really that big or
It's
not?
like pretty normal.
Yeah,
I think
I'd say probably like slightly above average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Continue.
fine. All right, moving on. Matt's like, keep talking about my head. All right, so those are kind of some general terms. We'll keep moving down the list. So max allowable offer formula, no matter what you're doing, wholesaling, flipping, renting, no matter what it is, you need to get that max allowable offer formula figured out. That's ARV times 70 to 80% minus repairs and costs.
Costs.
Got it. All right, and then you back out your wholesale fee if you're going to be wholesaling it. That's your profit on the deal. And then the biggest thing I would say about these things, Matthew, is be very conservative. I want your answer. So if a house, if I'm running comps and I see a house sold for $295, I saw a house sold that similar comps like these. It's a house sold for $315 and a house sold for $320. What would you? $395, $315, $320. What would your ARV be for your formula?
I mean, I'd probably be between like 300 and 310.
Yeah,
ballpark.
no, I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. I would like for me, and it's easier said than done. I would throw 300 at that thing and just that be my ARV.
Yeah.
So again, if you be conservative, maybe somebody lists that house for after they repair it for 309 to 319, it sells for 320. Great, you're going to make more. But if you can be conservative, you're building in that cushion.
It's that expectation.
Yes.
It's that climax, dog.
That climax. Hey, is this Shane? Tell your mom not to listen to this episode, okay? All right. So we have that, and then the other side of it is 75%. Again, you can go 60% and build in a huge profit, but then you're probably not going to buy it because there's probably competition, and you don't want to screw somebody over. You're trying to get a safe number where everybody makes a little bit because we're providing a service here.
You mentioned it, but talk to me about days on market. How do you view days on market? So if you're a wholesaler, you go out, you do all your numbers, you find a house, but if you see that those houses didn't sell for 3 months or 4 months or whatever it is, a significant amount of time, do you factor that in? Like, I should expect to hold this property for a longer period of time.
Technically, yes. So I guess, I got off of days on market when I think I was starting to make fun of your head again. And
did.
We completely got off of it. That's what does, keeps it on the tracks.
Yeah.
So days on market is just a heat check. Yeah, that's where we were. Heat check with the.
You almost made it there.
We almost made it there. The heat check with the market. So lower days on market. Somebody lists their property for sale through a real estate agent on the MLS. How long did it take to get under contract? So that's your how long did it take to sell? That's your days on market, and it kind of varies depending on the market. Like when I got started, the average days on market like 2014-15 was probably like 60 days and 60 to 70 days, and that was like a decent market.
It's like a lifetime now.
I know. Well, the thing was, it used to be like 4 months supply was kind of like the cutoff, and right now we're higher than we've been in 5 years, and it's like 35, 40 days in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So the point is, the less days on market means the inventory is moving faster. That means there's more buyers than sellers. That means prices are going up, and it's a good market. It's a seller's market.
Love it.
So that's just something to be aware of when you're looking at the heat of a market. And when you're wholesaling it really doesn't matter. Maybe it will affect your ARV, but you're not listing the thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. All right, let's finish. Look how good I'm back at. Let's finish the max allowable offer formula. So be conservative on your ARV. 75% minus repairs and costs. So, Matthew, if you run your rehab budget and you're getting, $35K as your like costs to repair it plus holding costs, what are you putting in the formula?
I'd put 10% more.
Ooh, that 10% fluff.
Yeah.
You know what a fluffer is?
I do know what a fluffer
Shane
is.
does not. Don't look that up, Shane.
Yeah.
So I'd put like 40K in there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's stuff behind the walls, stuff that's unexpected, miscellaneous costs that you're going to run into. And then, if you don't hit it or if you don't have that come up, it's almost
profit.
Like an added bonus.
Same with the ARV. We're trying to be conservative there. We're being conservative on this last part of the formula. And if you do that, you can confidently go in at 75%, 80% maybe even, because that should be like, not your worst case, but like that should be like probably not going to happen. You're probably going to be on the upper end of that.
Yeah.
So that just allows you to be more aggressive and build in some fluff. Somebody can do like crazy aggressive ARVs and crazy low budgets and go in at 60%. You know, it's just all how you play with the numbers. And I learned what a fluffer is from New Girl.
I love New Girl.
That was one of the episodes.
Yeah. Shane should watch New Girl. I think he'd like it.
Yeah, I did. New Girls and the Thundermans. I think that's kind of. Have you seen the Thundermans?
I haven't seen that one.
They're on Nickelodeon. Maisie
Yeah.
likes them. Just good, wholesome humor, Shane.
It is. What's Schmitty?
Schmidt. Oh, Schmidt.
Schmitty balls.
Schmitty balls.
Yeah.
Sweaty. All right. Okay. Moving along. So we got wholesaling figured out. You basically need to know your MAO and you need to max. You need to be able to back in your wholesale fee. So if you're looking to fix and flip, very similarly, you're going to get the MAO formula, and that's going to be your offer. You technically don't have to back out the wholesale fee because you're buying it from a wholesaler or you're not selling it. So you back out the wholesale fee, that's just going to make your offer less. And very few deals are no competition. So you want to get the deal and offer a fair price for everyone. So some things you really have to really dial down is your renovation costs and your holding costs. A wholesaler's probably going to just kind of guess at it, throw a number at it. It needs 60. They're going to say 40 kind of thing, like try to make it seem like a sweeter deal. So you need to really hammer in your renovation costs. So let's talk about ways to do that.
Yeah. I mean, first off, I'm a big trust but verify guy. So not saying that every wholesaler does that, but definitely
Every wholesaler does that.
Be cautious when you get a ARV of 50 or a rehab budget of 50 grand or 25 grand. Like, do your due diligence, have contractors go out, see if you can walk the house. Super important. So your question was, how do you go about doing renovation costs?
And a little bit, you've redone most of your mansion, haven't you? Between the roof and the he's got bedrooms he's never even been to in his house. So so that's how he rocks. But he if you're looking for somewhere to stay for 8 or 9 months, I know where to send you. But when you figure out your ARV and then you're taking the repairs is a huge part for fixing and flipping, because your rehab can technically affect your ARV, because if you do a good job, it can maybe a little bit higher. If you do a crappy job, you're not hitting the ARV you thought you were going to hit. So
most of the time too, that's where the problems come in with faulty guesses of what that rehab budget is going to be.
Yeah,
so,
most of the time, good point. That ARV is going to be kind of ballpark, but it's like nothing should drastically switch anything in those 6 months. But a 30K rehab could become a 68K rehab very, very quickly if you let it get out of control. So get multiple bids is a huge part. Lean on other people. This is a huge reason why people join our mentorship and our community, is having that second set of eyes and just confirming some numbers. There's a lot that can be said for just double checking things and just getting a second set of eyes on a few things here and there. Just I would say just keep us out of the ditches. We don't want to be in the fast lane, but I just want to be moving forward. Fast lane, slow lane, ditches are bad. So that's why a lot of people get a second set of eyes. So do it. Somebody in real estate in your market, pay somebody to do it, join a mentorship, whatever it is. But those, especially the first few deals, you want those to go as smoothly as possible. Not that you don't want all of them to go as smoothly as possible, but getting those is a big part of it. Yeah,
multiple bids is huge. Talking to multiple contractors, getting their opinion. Half the time you might get a completely different story about what needs to be done or what's required to be done. Go to your real estate meetups. That's an incredible place to get free knowledge, learn from others, network, but also meet those connections like contractors. And then when you talk to that contractor, say, hey, have you worked with anybody else in this real estate meetup? And then go talk to them. It's an interview process. I mean, they want your business, but they need to earn your business too. So
I like it. Are you coming to dinner tonight?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not.
So a big difference, and we're kind of working through the difference in the MAO formula, is kind of this is molding into for the different people. So the wholesaler's big thing, they're going to be, you or whoever's wholesaling is going to be quick with the numbers and build in the wholesale fee. But if you're fixing and flipping, you need to be obviously conservative and cognizant of the ARV and the repairs and holding costs. So this one's different because a wholesaler that's running these numbers, it doesn't know your holding costs.
Yep.
You're the only one. Are you doing hard money? Are you doing private money? Is it, do you have monthly payments you have to pay a hard money lender? Is it balloon payment at the end, private money? Are you using line of credit? Is it cash? Whatever it is, you are the only one that knows your holding costs. So if you are fixing and flipping to either sell or rent, be very familiar with your holding costs and understand what they truly are. Most of them you should be able to know. Should know your money costs. what you're borrowing it at. You should be able to figure out insurance and get quotes on that. Real estate taxes are easy. Just if it's got $1,000 a year taxes and you think it's a real estate property tax, so that's a low number, but for simple math, and you think you're going to own it 6 months, put $500 in holding costs, because when you sell it, you're going to have to either debit or credit that amount. So just be aware of those things, and most of them should be known numbers. Besides the repairs are kind of a little bit unknown.
Again, that's the biggest thing I think for all of this is just understanding that rehab budget, having a process, having trusted contractors.
Okay, cool. So, there's obviously things that check the market. There's days on market we talked about a little bit earlier. That's kind of applicable to everybody. And then how long you think the project's going to take you is a big part of it, because 3 months of holding costs versus 12 months holding costs is a big difference.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. Cool. All right, let's get on to the long-term stuff. So most of that stuff applies, but some different things you're going to look at when you are getting into the rental game. There's going to be a few different button words we're going to get you. The first one is cap rate. Now, cap rate is the capitalization rate. It's a way to value income producing properties. Now, you can use this for single families, but it doesn't mean anything for single families. It's just a cool number to know. But this is for like apartment complexes or anything like that the value, or commercial buildings, is based on the income they produce. Like my apartment complexes value is based on how much money it makes. My single family rentals are not. Those are based on the market.
Why is that? I know the answer, but
no, you don't.
People,
are you?
Because there's not enough comps available.
That's a big reason for it, and the fact that these bigger apartment complexes are viewed as like a business in itself. So it needs to be able to and it's so much more to manage 32 people, 60 people, whatever it is, all together. That requires a much more sophisticated owner and investor than just a house, because the market kind of drives that. So, that's just something to be aware of, figuring out cap rate. It's really easy to figure out. It's just your net operating income. So basically your income, pulling the debt out of it, divided by your purchase price or the price, and then that's going to be your cap rate. It's going to give you a percentage like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, kind of something like that. All right, hit the next one, Matthew.
All right, cash flow, the fun stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all love cash flow. So what is your property going to generate? So once you collect rent, subtract your expenses, what's going to come into your pocket as the single family homeowner or apartment homeowner?
Want to be good with that, so you don't have a hole in your pocket. You don't want it to fall out.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at single family rentals, mainly your rent minus expenses. Again, let's go through that formula. So cash flow formula is pretty simple. Your rent, again, all these should be known, is the beautiful thing, if you can calculate it and do what I'm going to tell you. But the rent, you don't know exactly what you're going to get for rent, but judging by other rentals in the area, your rent estimate, some like other websites, and just kind of seeing what the comps are for rents in the area. So you take your rent, and there's like 6 or 7 major expenses. So you should subtract out your mortgage. Mm-hmm. That's a known number. You should know around how much you're going to have in it, and you should get quotes on rates and know that. Minus your property taxes, again, a known thing you can get from the county website or previous owner, and get that, divide that by 12. That's what it is a month. Then your insurance, get quotes on that. Then your property management, you're going to pay somebody 10% or do it yourself. Then minus out your maintenance, however much you think you're putting the property. We put $150 a door aside, and then minus your vacancy, set 5% aside for vacancy, and then CapEx is something good to add just a little bit to start to build a slush fund. So if you take your rent and minus out all those pretty well known numbers, we look for $200 to $400 a door left over, or a month left over.
How are things right now with cash flow for you?
A little tired, but they're about to get better with this lower interest rate.
See?
Yeah.
Just do the damn thing.
We've done the damn thing. You know that. So yeah, that's times. Yes, a lot of times. So that is that formula. Couple other ones is occupancy rate. You really need to build in the occupancy rate. So we do 5% vacancy. So 5% of gross rent you set aside for vacancy, because your property is not always occupied, but you need to get that occupancy up. So that's basically saying 95% of the time I own this is going to be occupied. Yep. The 5% I don't, here's a slush fund. But if that goes down to 90%, that's bad. But if that goes up above it, then that's good. You'll get more cash flow.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Makes sense.
What else you want to cover? Pick one more to cover.
Let's talk about total return on investment.
All right, so total return on investment. So that's going to be your ROI. So you're going to take your annualized cash flow. So rather than divide the few things by 12, you multiply by 12. Plus appreciation divided by your total investment is going to give you your rate of return on the actual investment. Now, the cool thing is we get an infinite return on our investment most of the time because we use none of our own money. So that total investment is going to be 0, and that just throws the calculator off.
That Buzz Lightyear return.
That Buzz. Did you like that movie?
I did.
I thought it was really good too.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Then the Chris Evans being the guy was like a perfect little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Big fan.
Big fan.
Zorg?
Zorg is really Buzz. It's Buzz
Yeah.
when he's older. Shoot, don't watch. Oh, you just gave
Spoiler.
it the spoiler alert.
Cut that, Shane.
Cut it out. So those are kind of the main buzzwords, ARV, the max allowable offer formula, kind of days on market, some renovation cost stuff, holding cost stuff, and then just like kind of cash flow occupancy stuff for rentals. So these are just kind of numbers to introduce you to and terms to introduce you to. Obviously, you're going to learn what these things are and what they do a little bit more detail, but in general, that's a good place to start.
Can you tease the people with a little Deal Pilot plug and maybe a free trial coming up? Because I feel like everything we talked about today, you need to know comps, you need to know ARV, you need to know rehab costs, you need to know a variety of things that are going to help you understand if it's the right deal or not.
So you're saying it'd be nice if there was an AI software that did it for you?
Yeah, something like that. Do you know anybody?
What do you think that'd be called?
Deal Pilot.
Deal Pilot. So Matthew, being the COO that he is, we are launching our own software here in the next week or two called Deal Pilot. It is a software that gives you MLS access, rehab calculator, run comps for you. You're able to source deals, and you're able to get real time rehab estimation numbers based on your market and what you're putting in the property. So it is like an all-in-one thing where you're able to drive for dollars and send direct mail and cold call and text and everything from it, getting access to the MLS, getting access to comp tools, and it uses AI to predict what houses are going to sell before they actually sell. So it takes 250 data points into play. It even takes social media posts into play as far as it's predicting a house is going to sell. If somebody's posting about it or complaining about being behind on whatever on social media and it's a public record, they're going to pull that and make a prediction as if the house is going to sell. So some really cool stuff we put into play that we're going to be offering free trials for here coming up pretty soon. And even after the free trial, it's not going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
Like it?
Incredible. Love it.
Deal Pilot's going to have to be a sponsor. That may be just the sponsor of the entire podcast.
Brought to you by Deal Pilot.
Sounds good. All right, let's play the game.
All right. Who goes first?
You can. What's this game called?
Real or fake?
Look at, we ended with 17 seconds left.
Let's go.
All right, so real or fake, this is when we decide. Shane puts some headlines up, and we decide if we think they're real or fake. Go ahead, Matthew.
Larry the Cable Guy unveils plans for 2-story burger joint in San Francisco. Real or fake?
Prilosec, that's funny that's a sponsor that we're looking at. Heartburn Guy. He seems like his audience is more on the redneck, red state leaning side. That'd be interesting to go ahead and do that in California with all the red tape and everything. I know there's probably a lot of foot traffic. But Shane also, it could be in Alabama or something, and Shane just is effing with us with the San Francisco. But I'm going to say fake.
I would agree. Let's go fake.
It is fake. None of that is real. I made it all up.
This podcast is a chance for you to spread your wings, isn't it? You spread your creative wings. All right. Awesome. Number 2, Kate Winslet, 48 years old, reveals she had testosterone replacement therapy to boost her sex drive.
First off, Titanic. Great.
Yeah, that does not look like her.
I mean, she's older.
Not on the couch either.
It doesn't look like Leo.
Leo looks pretty good. Leo's a handsome gentleman.
Yeah. Did you know Brad Pitt is 60?
Hey, man.
That's old.
He looks good, though.
He does. He does.
But he looks great with his shirt off still. I'm going to say that's true. I think that you never know. Might as well.
I feel like Shane's a big tabloids guy. I probably caught this in the latest People magazine, so let's go true.
It is true. That is a real headline.
Yeah, she hasn't done a lot since Titanic. Leo obviously has, but
yeah.
So who knows? All right, Next one,
All
Matthew.
right, Miley Cyrus seen on Canard Line singles cruise.
Huh. You know, I mean, he could say like anything about Miley Cyrus and be the wildest thing ever and it'd be true. This almost seems too lame.
I mean, she could be like a paid like performer as well. Like
Most
maybe
people's tattoos have like a theme to them. I feel like hers are just pretty random.
she was under the influence.
Yes, haven't you heard her song? I was young or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's very.
I was young once. What's it called? Shane, you know.
I have no idea.
Shane can't stop watching the Wrecking Ball video.
Yeah, Shane would. I'm gonna say that is false.
I'll go with true.
It is a fake headline.
Had to be different.
I made it up.
I love it. Is Canard even a cruise line?
It is. I put a little work into it. I looked up the most popular cruise lines for that, or the singles cruise lines.
How'd you land on Miley Cyrus?
I went into a random celebrity generator.
So he's got, we got Bumble expert over here. We got the singles cruise line. Ladies, Shane is a good-looking 21-year-old cat. Got a great stable job. You know, good family. Farm fresh eggs. You can give you a discount on. So yeah, just let us know if you're looking for a date. We got a catch in our hands.
Oh,
Have to go through me and you first,
that's
but
true.
we have to interview you first. Make sure you're good enough for our
Very
Shaner.
strenuous interview process.
Yes.
Trust and verify.
Yes, awesome. All right, riddle me this. I'm so excited for this. How much work did you put into this already? Don't lie to me, Matthew.
I haven't. This is the first time I'm seeing.
This
it,
is where I
so-
make Lucas look stupid, but I'm gonna make Matt look
I
stupid.
saw Lucas last time. I think he crushed all of them.
Okay, you would. All right, here we go. This is the first riddle.
Okay.
Take me out of a window and leave a grieving wife, but stick me in a door and I can save somebody's life. What am I? That might be the hardest one I've ever seen. Take me out of a window.
Okay. Hey, what do you take out of a window? Apple pie.
You could.
And I leave a grieving wife.
I would just, but stick me in a door.
I think I'm not far off. I feel like
I would
I
not.
feel like
Don't worry about the second part. The first sentence is the main one to focus on for your answer.
take me out of a window and I leave a grieving wife. I'm going to go with apple pie.
The letter N. Get it? Window, widow.
Oh,
See, take the N out of window and it's a widow.
yeah, I get it. But stick me in a door
I don't get that part.
and I can save some.
A door?
Donor.
Well,
Oh,
it's,
stick the N in a door and the word would be donor.
Wow.
That was confusing as shit.
That's some.
I love it. He came with the heat on you.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, number 2. How many Fridays the 13th can there be in 1 year's calendar? So it's not really a riddle. It's just we're just going with just basic trivia right now. We just had one last Friday, so at least one. Math, just do the math.
I don't. Let me just get my calculator out.
365 days minus divided by 12 months. There's 60 Fridays divided by 2 is what?
But don't you need? You already made that up.
I know.
I'm gonna say 1.
3. Gosh, you look so stupid right now.
I told you the concussions. Well,
All right.
explain it to me.
Yes. What do you mean? Oh, there's no math. It's just trivia. Yeah, there's 3 of them.
This is dumb.
All right.
I'm sure there's a way that people figure that out, like a
ChatGPT.
quick way, but I don't know it.
Hey Shane, maybe just make a little easier question next time.
All right. So last one. What flies forever, rests never? These are the hardest 3 I've ever seen. He did this just for you.
Championship banners, dog.
The wind.
Championship banners, please, though.
All right. Get me now.
All right, true or false? The easiest part. You have preset.
But the goal of
responses.
true and false is to mislead. The goal of riddles are to lead.
A lion's roar can be heard up to 8 kilometers away.
I think I just saw green on the screen, so I'm going to go true.
It is true.
Yes, I saw green pop up.
It was a misinput.
You mean you accidentally clicked forward?
Yeah, I accidentally clicked forward. All right, fish don't blink.
I don't like to fish.
You don't like to fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought I said don't like fish?
Yeah.
I think they're fine.
I thought you said I don't like the fish.
I mean, fish are fine. I'm not like.
Do you like to eat fish?
I'll eat fish. Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
It's like my least favorite.
I don't mind a little, like tuna or a little salmon skin roll. But I mean, like if somebody's like, I got this mahi out of the like, I'm like, yeah.
Meh.
You know, it's just like chicken, cardboard, like just like spongy chicken to me.
Yeah. Do you eat the sushi?
I eat sushi, yes.
Yeah. See, like I'll do sushi.
But will you do bubble gum?
Give me all the scallops you got.
We do bubble gum.
No.
Matt's never had a piece of bubble gum in his mouth in his life.
That is true.
It's an odd thing to have sitting across from you. Very serial killer tendency there. I'm going to say fish don't blink. I'm going to say that is false. They do blink.
That is true.
Fuck. We already got one right, so I beat you.
All right. The first animal sent into space was a dog.
I think it was a monkey, wasn't it? Or maybe they did like some smaller thing. Maybe it was a dog. I don't know. I'm going to say false.
It is false, but it was fruit flies. I feel like you should have put monkey on the question.
That was the original for the true or false that I kind of source these from sometimes, but I thought that the Russians sent a dog up first, so I switched it.
Fruit flies. So is that there's that big discussion on flies and animals? I guess they are, huh? They're insects. Insects are animals.
I would think so. They're
Okay.
God's creatures, if you believe in that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, but that's nothing to do with an animal. But yes, the classification of it.
Okay.
All right.
See you next time.
Give me the quote.
All right.
Oh.
All right, so I switched it up a little bit. I gave you a quote, and you have to tell me who said it.
All right. I feel like I'm too busy writing history to read it. That's somebody who's made a lot of money, who's cocky and knows it, and has done a lot in business. Elon Musk is my guess.
Donald Trump.
It is Kanye West.
That's funny. Kanye is a psycho. But I think he's got mental health issues, so I don't be too hard on him. But yeah, that's funny. I'm too busy making history to write. He definitely thinks he's much more important than he is.
Yes, he does. Have you seen his girlfriend?
It looks exactly like Kim Kardashian's
Yes.
wife.
It was a wife.
They're married up.
Okay. She needs to wear more clothes, I think.
Yes, she probably does.
Yeah.
Yes, and the clothes she does wear are very see-through.
Yes. Yes.
They're like see-through trash bags, basically, right? Kinda?
Pretty much.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you want to shoot? I don't think it'll count for anything, but it'll give me something to practice. This is just a practice round.
All right.
It's like the Augusta. This is like on Wednesday at Augusta.
All right, we're going trash it. And the score is 20-23 currently. Lucas is leading, so Matt's gonna take the first shot. Oh, it is too long. Miss. All right, Sam shoots. I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about that. That was really bad.
See you next time.
See you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. We hope you got some major value from our conversation. If you love what you learn, make sure you like, rate, review the show, and help us spread the word by telling a friend.
If you'd like to learn more about working with me inside one of my programs, we'll have those links in the show notes, along with all our social media handles, so you connect with us there for free. If there's a real estate question you'd like us to answer, feel free to send us a message and we'll cover it in an upcoming show.